Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Break It Down podcast. It's Joel from Codebreak and I've got a special guest today. He's been on the podcast before. He was previously a TV presenter and now a budding YouTube star. Hi Del.
Hey, I love that intro. I think I'm going to steal that and then put it everywhere.
I feel like I did a good job there.
I mean, if too good, if anything. You don't need my help anymore for anything.
So, Dale Edwards, to get your full name in.
Yeah, true.
Dale, as you're now known. Who are you?
I'm FM Dale. Plug. So I'm an actor, presenter, basically any kind of freelance thing where you need someone to talk, I can do it. Mm-hmm. That's me in a nutshell. At the moment, I am. I've started a new YouTube channel, trying to promote myself, which I think this is where we're sort of going with this chat, really, with this podcast, is promoting yourself. So
yeah, exactly. So for the listeners, we're going to be chatting about promoting yourself online. And where you come in is obviously you've grown a YouTube channel quite quickly, all based around Football Manager and your team, well, not your team, but a team, and some of the skills that you employ there, things that you do, applied to businesses across a range of types of business, and I think that'd be really useful for people.
Yeah, so I'm just starting this YouTube journey. It's been something I've wanted to do for quite a long time. Mm-hmm. And as with any journey, as with any job, anything that we do, the hardest bit is to just get going, isn't it?
Yeah. I think particularly when you're putting yourself in front of the camera as well, it's that.
I've just come up with like 50 million different reasons why I'm not ready to do it. That's what's happened. So since the start of this lockdown situation, I was like, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this time to do something I've already planned. I know what I'd be doing. I've spent so much time, I would now say, procrastinating over the minute details of how to do something. So,
have you heard that?
JFDI?
Yeah.
I've never heard of JFDI. So what's that?
It's a bit like the Nike slogan, but with a swear word in the middle.
Oh, okay.
So basically, if there's ever a point in the office where someone's kind of not quite doing what they should be doing, or they're procrastinating because they've got that. It probably all comes back to fear of failure, I think. JFDI. What's the worst can happen? You're not going to be any worse off than you are now, so just do it.
Exactly. And it's so easy though. We all sit there and like people will be listening to this now and they'll be like, oh yeah, it's so easy to say though. It's so easy to say, which it is. It is very easy to just tell somebody, go and do it. Go and do it. But the thing is, I'm a bit of a perfectionist. Yeah. So if I'm sending something out there for the world, I don't want to have that moment where I'm going to sit there and be like, oh, someone's going to see me in a non-perfect way. Mm-hmm. But I was having a chat, actually. I was talking with somebody that you've had on this podcast. He's got an amazing...
the games developer.
The games developer. And I was talking to him about the way that he works online, and he wanted to promote himself and do what he does. And he's fantastic as a human being. And I was talking to him, and just do it. You've got all the tools of the trade. Just go and do it. I believe in you and I'll help you along the way. And saying that to him without actually following through myself.
Yeah, exactly that. So obviously I meet, across the course of a year, I meet hundreds of businesses. That's what I do. And I'm saying to businesses that you need to get in front of the camera and tell people what you know, because they don't know what you know. That's one thing. And this applies to self-employed people. This applies to big corporate entities. Tell people what you know, because they need to know that you're an expert at what you do. Don't be afraid to get in front of the camera. Don't be afraid to podcast. Don't be afraid to get your opinion out there, because chances are if people don't like your opinion, you wouldn't want to work with them anyway.
Exactly. And it's also good, I think, I was looking at something today about a completely different thing, but it was about, people having a different opinion to you. And we often do live in a world where people have different opinions, and we always think that ours is right. 100% we do. But we have to learn from those other opinions. If you don't put an opinion out there, your opinion out there, there's a million people who might agree with you. There's a million people who won't. But you may never know the other side of the argument if you don't put your side out. So It's just as important to do that. In that way.
I guess that's true. And as with anything, marketing, business, whatever it is, as long as you're a better listener than you are a talker, your opinion should be all right.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a very strong point.
Which is it's an easy thing to say that, and I've been on the wrong side of the fence plenty of times, but it's really important that people approach.
We all love a soapbox. We all love to get on our soapbox and go off about what we know. We just got to learn to listen sometimes. There's someone downstairs in my house right now who should be listening to that comment.
I think it's very difficult as well to know what you don't know, if that makes sense. And that's what I'm getting at with this, is that, like, for someone like you, YouTube, being in front of the camera is second nature.
Yeah.
And a lot of the, like, in this case, it's your new ventures about Football Manager, which has a huge following. You take for granted what you know about Football Manager because it's second nature to you. You've done it, near enough your whole life. And that can sometimes stop you from getting in front of the camera or on a podcast or writing a blog, because you're like, well, of course everybody knows this because I know it. And they don't. They just don't. And actually, you could provide this really helpful, useful information for those people, be it you could be a YouTuber, you could be a podcaster, you could be a solicitor, could be an accountant. And actually that little tidbit of advice that they pick up from you could be, that could be your first lead. That could be, you're in.
Yeah, I was talking to someone earlier. I had a little bit of a job interview earlier today, and a kind of job interview. And I was talking to them, and
it was a presenter interview. You're being modest.
Yeah, it was a presenter interview, and I was talking to the person in that front, and often I underplay myself, underplay my knowledge, underplay what I've done, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna change this, because of lockdown, maybe because of what's been going on, and the uncertainty with everything. But I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go into this interview and sort of say exactly what I know, feel comfortable and confident in what I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did. And I said to the guy, look, this is the amount that I'd expect to be paid. This is what I do. This is what I'm good at. And by the end of the chat with this gentleman, I got off the call, and he basically said yes, and I thought, wow, from being that confident person, just going, Del, you do know what you know. Go and just tell people. I think I came across probably better than how I normally want to come across.
Yeah.
Even though that's the normal plan to get myself liked.
Yeah, because nobody wants to be seen as cocky.
Exactly. But there's a difference between being cocky and just showing that you know what you know.
Yeah, confident but humble is an attractive trait. Be that in business, be that, if you're going out on a date, whatever it might be. If you can hold your own, but without showing off, that's a really good skill. And I think that's what I'm trying to coach businesses to do with their marketing is, well, tell people what you know. And the two fears are, one, you'll make yourself look like a dick, which you won't. It's unlikely you'll do that unless you jump on a bandwagon you shouldn't. And the other is kind of that whole fear of failure, that someone will criticize you, and they won't. And if they do, most people will think they're an idiot.
Yeah. It's like, if we moving it back to say what I've started, this YouTube channel, which is new for me, because I've had to learn different things with it as well. So I've had to learn how to edit. I've had to learn how to film a game on a computer. I didn't know how to do that. I had to learn to do loads of different things, and all with the knowledge that it may not work. Like, this isn't normally, I work in a situation where someone's paying me to present. All I have to think about is the presenting. All I have to think about is the thing that I am good at. And in this situation, I've had to do loads of things that I am not particularly good at, not particularly skilled, but I'm learning and getting better. And knowing now to ask people for help. So I'm doing it, I'm putting out my stuff and saying, hey, here you go. But I'm also saying, if you've got any helpful insight into if you would like certain things different, if you want this to happen or you want that to happen, just tell me. And being flexible enough to put my opinion out and my show out with the knowledge of it's not perfect, help me out. And people have been, and they've been absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, let's talk, I don't know, maybe a car dealership. If they did a weekly podcast or a weekly vlog, just standing up, talking about cars, talking about the latest deals in the industry, the latest technologies, that kind of thing, what they'll probably find is people are really receptive to that. But because it feels second nature to them, they're trepidatious about it. And actually, put yourself out there, and then they'll start to find that people say, "Oh, would you mind doing a video about this car? Or would you mind telling us about that engine? Or would you mind telling us about your servicing?" And that's happened with our podcast. That's happened with our vlogs. That people start to request stuff, and it puts you on a really cool pedestal. That actually you become like a go-to source of information for people.
Yeah, my mate used to do that. So he worked for a company, and this company were like, "Look, we kind of want some little videos on cars." Now, the issue that they had in the long run was that they weren't, they knew their idea, but they didn't quite know how to implement it. Yeah. But what they did with my friend was do little car videos, kind of like little Top Geary kind of videos, or whatever, Grand Tour kind of little videos with cars that they could get. They were a leasing company, and just do these videos, and they got such good traction from it by getting themselves out there, doing something a little bit different using media. Yeah, and it just threw. It went really well. Unfortunately, due to this lockdown and everything else situation, some people have decided that maybe their money doesn't go into this, which I think we all know is a mistake, because it's the time that everybody is on their phones and everybody is ready to look at the next bit of information.
To consume, yeah.
Including me. I don't think I spent as much time on YouTube as I have been during this lockdown. So that's my phone. Sorry if that went on there. So it's just one of those things that I think people should be using more and more. It's getting, whatever industry it is, it doesn't matter. People want to hear you talk about it. I was buying a sofa the other day. And I haven't bought it yet, but I was looking online, and I went on YouTube to see people's reviews, to see people unbox it, to know what it's kind of going to look like.
Yeah.
All these little things are now being more and more commonly used. And if you're looking for some way to show your product to people, just get it online. Get some kind of marketing. Get people to see it, especially right now.
Yeah, I think people have this kind of misconception of what taking their business online consists of. I think, lots of businesses will set up a Facebook page or set up a LinkedIn or something like that, and they'll do a couple of posts, or maybe even a video or a voice clip or something, and they'll get a bit of traction, but it doesn't immediately result in sales. And then they're like, right, it didn't work, we need to get on to the next thing. And it's not about that. You wouldn't build a shop in the middle of a field, not tell anyone where it is, and then expect customers. You've got to build your presence, build your voice, let people know your values, let people understand the people behind what you're doing, let people start to get a feel for what it is that you solve for them in their lives.
Things don't just happen overnight. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't, we're all sort of in a culture of, you can go on these talent shows or whatever, and the next day you're a famous star, and all these things. And YouTube viral sensations, they're so 1 in a bisquillion chance. Sometimes you have to realize that it's going to take time, and you'll progress. And one day, on my videos, for example, some days, it's not great viewer wise. I'm like, why is that one not done as well? And why is this one done better? And you can't quite figure out just how it's going to be. It's going to be an up and down road to that end point.
Yeah, you can't look at the trends of how successful it's been after only a month of doing something. No. It's not how it works. It's not how longevity works. If you're building a business or a YouTube channel or a podcast for the next 10 years, and you're expecting to base that decision on a month's worth of data, you're wrong.
Yeah, you are, aren't you? There's no other way to say it. You're just wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. So, speaking of talent shows, I don't know whether you're allowed to talk about this or not, but
I'm not. I've not told anyone about this, so we'll probably scoot over that, I reckon, just in case anybody's listening to that.
A talent show, load of nonsense, that'll do.
Do chat. Yeah, but I'm not a big. I won't go into it.
Yeah,
Anywho,
don't do it.
I have a question for you, actually.
Go on.
If you're okay with that, I don't know if we could turn the table here.
No. I love a spontaneous question. It proves that I don't know what I'm talking about sometimes. So.
Perfect. So, as I've been mentioning, FM Dale, if you all want to watch this Football Manager channel, it's more entertaining than it sounds, I promise. But with this, it's a new venture for me. And where would you say digital marketing can come into play of helping me? So where would you say I need to view myself to move forwards? Where would I place adverts, or what would I need to look at?
So let's look at, I think you need to look at your end goal and reverse engineer from there. And that might be a personal goal, it might be a business goal, it might be a viewership goal. You know, loads of people have different things. So I'll talk to business owners who, initially will say to me, I want to grow the business to £1 million. And then I say, well, why? And they go, well, I want to sell it in 5 years. I was like, oh, so what you really meant is you want to sell your business in 5 years for X amount of money. Oh yeah, but I didn't think you'd be interested in that. Well, yeah, I am, because that's your driver, and therefore that's our driver in marketing your business. So for you, what's the goal?
Yeah, this is the interesting, I would say, interesting point is that I haven't fully got a goal yet. I don't know if any of your clients ever come to you with that situation, with the situation of, I haven't actually thought of an endpoint to this. I sort of just did that step. I did the step and said, look, I'm just gonna throw it out there and we'll see what happens, without the idea that it could work.
Hi, Joel and Andy here. Thanks for listening to our podcast. We're loving sharing our marketing tips with you.
If you'd like to kickstart your marketing, why not jump on a discovery call? Simply visit codebreak.co.uk and apply there. Hopefully speak to you soon.
Take care.
I think now I'd love to, in theory, make enough viewers to. I think I'd just like people to see it.
So are we talking enough viewers that you start to make income off it?
Yeah, looking into how much that has to be, I'm not sure. I'm not sure enough people want to see my face for that. But yeah, I suppose that could be a goal in future. At the moment, it's just to learn and embrace and enjoy. But
see, as an actor, it's a good portfolio piece as well, to just keep yourself sharp and show people what you can do in front of the camera.
Exactly.
But yeah, okay, let's go with, you want it to reach a point where it becomes a steady stream of income for you, like an alternative income stream.
Yeah.
I would say at the minute you're being very modest. So for the listeners, at the minute you're kind of promoting it on YouTube itself and on your own social media.
Yes.
And not heavily. You know, when an episode comes out, you'll post about it.
Yeah, I'm not bombarding people with information.
So I would say you could have a Facebook page, and that way you can post as much as you want, because only the people who are following the page will see it, and therefore you're kind of shouting at the right people. Yeah. You could then share selected posts of those to your personal timeline, so you know other people will see it. And then once that starts to get traction, you could say, right, and this is what we'd say to any business owner, is what's it going to be worth to you in 1 month, 6 months, 12 months time, and how much would you be willing to spend to generate that income? And that's kind of the marketing decision on it, is, okay, how much would you be willing to spend with Google or Facebook ads or whatever it might be to generate traction? And that's
it's not just something that magically springs, is it? You have to pay, or you have to find these things. Again, it's like I was saying about viral sensations. Is it 1 in a bisquillion chance that somebody's going to become viral?
You've either got to commit time or money or both. I think some of these people who are like overnight successes, I think Steve Jobs had a quote, something like, the funny thing about overnight successes is how long they take. And it's very true. Like, some of these people, I mean, you'll have seen it with musicians in particular. They have a hit first album, but they've been on SoundCloud for 10 years. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not. It's not an overnight success. There's no such thing.
Yeah, it's that. Yeah, exactly. I suppose completely, unless there's the one. Sorry, I've spoken to myself there 7 times in my own brain before giving you any kind of answer to that situation. So sorry to the listeners as well. But yeah, it is that situation of you don't realise how much work you put into something behind the scenes. It goes back to that being confident about talking about yourself, isn't it? And putting yourself out there in front of people.
Yeah.
We always have that kind of feeling within ourselves that we don't know the answers. Well, look, I've been an actor and stuff for a decade. I've got enough mental knowledge and skills that I shouldn't have worried me to put a YouTube channel up, but it still did. So we should be more confident in ourselves with what we know.
Yeah. And like your YouTube channel, your interview, and when I'm talking to business owners, self-employed people, if you want people to buy from you, then you can't really afford to be afraid to showcase your knowledge. Because that's what they're, and I'll accept this with a marketing agency. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of marketing agencies in this country that offer the same services as my agency.
Yeah.
But they're not just buying the service, our customers, they're buying the people behind the service. So what do we know? What are we willing to share? How do we look after people? What are our values? And unless you can showcase that, the only factors you've got to compete on are your offering and your price. And it's a slippery slope to the bottom if you've got to compete like that.
Yeah, especially if you're just putting everything on price. No one ever goes for the people at the bottom, do they? Damn it, you never go for the cheapest quote. You go for the one in the middle anyway. But yeah, it's so true. You are just working on you selling yourself, aren't you? And that's kind of what my Football Manager channel is. It kind of is just selling me.
Yeah.
I think more than anything else. It's just learning to sell yourself in a confident and believable manner, because you don't want to be seen as being a complete fake entity, as you're pretending, as if you're pretending to be somebody else.
Yeah, I think obviously you have to find your groove, and maybe that would be your presenting style or your tone of voice.
Got an image of you dancing there as you find your groove.
Yeah, I always dance before I film a vlog. I mean,
Let's get it out of the way.
this is an honest point. So I had to film my vlog today, and I'm always telling businesses to film vlogs, and I think today was like my 97th episode or something.
Oh,
and it took me 12 takes.
that's. Did you just do one through take though?
Yeah, we don't do any edit on our vlog. So
So if anybody is watching this or listens to this podcast and watches that vlog, guys, that's a full take. There's no editing.
yeah,
Couldn't make a mistake.
but I'm perfectly comfortable. So that took me 12 takes. I'm perhaps not on it today, but
Well,
that's the reality of it. And yeah, it's important that I convey that message and get that out there, and that's what it takes to do it.
I've been watching quite a few things on learning to be a YouTuber. Now, I haven't taken the advice because it turns out that most of the things I already knew, because, hey, I'm a professional presenter and I probably knew more than these YouTubers that I've been looking at. But one of the ones that they were saying was heavily based on, this is my, like you say, 12. The guy I was watching was like, this is my 7th take of just this intro. That intro is 20 seconds long.
Yeah.
I was thinking, what? Like, wow. You naturally think that everybody is perfect, but no one's perfect.
No.
We have to
Well,
do
like
things.
Today I was talking about the power of saying no to things, and I mean, you know me, I'm not afraid to say no to people.
Second nature.
I'm a fairly dry person, but when it came to actually conveying why you should say no to people in some instances, I started to stumble a little bit, and because our blogs aren't scripted or whatever, I wasn't quite getting it right. So all I did was bullet point the points I was trying to make and stick it on the wall behind the camera.
Yeah,
That doesn't make me any
idea.
professional. It doesn't make me any less professional. It's just what I needed to do. And I think there's like this level of intimidation that people feel like they have to be so polished and so perfect, probably because they've been fed the lie that is reality TV and some of the presenting stuff that you see. Actually, most of these people are either doing loads and loads of takes, or they've got a teleprompter in front of them.
Yeah, teleprompter. For presenters on TV, most of them have a teleprompter. Although they have talk back in their ear, telling them what to say. And yeah, you don't think about it. I tell you what though, good idea putting bullet points there. I don't know how you would have got that idea. That's a really good one. If you didn't see my last, listen to my last podcast, please do go back in the archives and have a look at how to be a presenter.
We've actually got an auto cue now, but
Have you?
during lockdown, it's not a possibility really, because you need to get the big camera out, and
Yeah.
my home office isn't quite the size of the actual Codebreak HQ. So
Yeah, that's true. But that's amazing though. It's really good, that people know that. Like with my Football Manager videos, because it's a game, and at the moment I am filming as I play. So I have the webcam that is on my camera, and it's filming me as I play the game. So I'm not using a secondary camera, which is something I will be moving on to. But at this point, I don't have it. So that means I cannot edit. So all of my edits are based upon having to be in a chronological order. I can't fill the screen with my face. So everything is completely sort of, as you said there, without the edit, you don't know how it's going to turn out. You're okay to cancel and start again. With the Football Manager, I can't start again. If I'm mid-game and I make a...
yeah, if you reload the save, it kind of ruins the point of the
thing. So I'm never going to do that. But it does mean that when I'm speaking, it puts that weird pressure on what you say. Because you put that pressure on, it's got to be entertaining. It's got to be entertaining.
Yeah.
So for the first two, I was like, it's got to be entertaining. It's got to be entertaining. Now I'm just like, I've got to get through these games. Just got to get through them. I can edit them. So make them a bit shorter, but...
yeah, I think for like people doing this for the first time or recording things for the first time, maybe jot down the 2 or 3 major points you want to hit during your recording. But actually, otherwise, just get it done.
Yeah, just get it done. Just say what you want to say. And as you say, you're jotting down those things. One, if you're not doing it live, don't worry about editing. Also, people love editing at the moment. It's massively in. If you are filming something for YouTube or anything like that, jump cut to the main thing. If you can, the less time that you have with silence, brilliant, because people are ready to switch off. So if you're worried and like, oh, it didn't work in one long take, brilliant. Don't worry about it. You make a mistake, take a 10-second pause if you need to, and bam, straight in with another edit. Don't worry about it. It's about... Again, if you can edit things to look absolutely wonderful, your best actor that you've ever seen on the screen could be doing the worst job ever, but the editor's made them look a million times better.
Yeah,
Always post is the dream.
Yeah, I think with a marketing sense, you need to be able to smash that content out quite consistently and quite quickly. And you basically just want to get those 5 minutes down on video, chop out any bits that aren't quite right, get it out there. And that's why we do ours in one hit, is because I record it, I give it to Evie and our team, she sorts out subtitles, she cuts the end off where I'm literally pressing the button on the camera, she cuts the other end off where I'm pressing it again. And that's about as much edit as there is, because you need to get the content out there, you need to be confident in what you're saying. And like I said before, if you're expecting people to buy something off you and you're not confident about talking about that subject, that's a problem.
Yeah, but that's great that you can do it in that one take. Like, I'm just saying, for anyone listening to this who doesn't feel like they can do it in that one take, don't be scared to edit. We all have.
No, don't get me wrong. If it takes you 10 minutes to film a 5-minute video and then you cut it down to 5 minutes, awesome.
Right.
But you can't be going for like ultra polished. Just get it out there, get it done, because it's not business efficient to sit there doing all these policies. Obviously, if you want to bring a video company in talking about your services, completely different situation, and you can edit, add music, get the lighting bang on, completely understand that. But in terms of getting your content out there for your business Facebook, your business YouTube, that kind of thing, just crack on.
Yeah, just get going. Yeah, I one of the best things that I saw on these Football Manager things, one of the guys who's pretty good at it, he's got a lot of subscribers. He said, no one is going to watch your first 100 videos, so just get them out. Just get them out. He was like, you're only going to make it harder because you're going to be in this position where you'll want to be wherever, but you're putting the time back. It's still going to take you this amount of videos to be happy with what you do. So just start doing it.
Yeah. They're not wrong. I think that's the case for a lot of video content. Is the better you get, the more faults you'll see in what you did before. So that's the journey you want to be on. If you feel like you're getting worse, that's a bigger problem. And that's a really good place to be, because chances are you'll put a video out and it'll get some traction, and actually you're pitching yourself as an expert in your field, so great news. But then in 50 videos time, your videos will probably be 10 times better, but you're still going to generate that positive. That's still a positive thing. There's no negative to that situation.
No, and there's people who will follow you for that whole journey, but there's also people who will find you for the first time when you get to the 50th and they think, wow, you're perfect. So it's only win-win. It's only win-win.
It's a bit like watching a series or season 1 episode of The Simpsons and look what it looks like and what they sound like, and then watch a season 5 episode, and it's just like so much more polished.
And then never watch a brand new one
never watch the new ones. They're too shiny. It's like it's really weird. I saw a new one this weekend actually, and like the shading on it and everything. I was like, wow, that's amazing animation, but it's so clinical now that I don't like it anymore.
Yeah, that just means we're old.
Maybe.
Definitely.
Why? What's the new Simpsons? How old? I do feel old when I ask a question like that. Do you know?
Well, no, I'm just old. I admit to my oldness. I was thinking about it the other day. I was just like, there's so many things. Looking on YouTube, because obviously I'm an old person. This is another thing maybe we could say as well. In YouTube senses, I'm quite old. Yeah. Really, to start a YouTube channel, I'm 31. So to start it at that age, I felt a little bit of pressure because most of the people doing this are young. Why would people want to watch an old guy do it? But the truth is, there's people for everyone. As in, that's not a big love story, friend. But it is. If you're single out there, there's someone for everyone. Enjoy. But predominantly, people want to watch different things. So if you're thinking, I'm a 70-year-old woman who has a business and I kind of want to do this thing, do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
And I think just because obviously young people are generally the early adopters of anything, so be it YouTube, be it Snapchat, be it TikTok, young people get on it first. But now, much like Facebook, the biggest audience on Facebook now is like 50 to 70-year-olds, because they get it now. They've taken them a while for them to get there, but they get it now. And I think YouTube's going to be a bit like that the audience has developed now. So when I sort of say to my mum, she's like, oh, what did you do yesterday? I was like, oh, I was watching a series. She's like, oh, where did you watch that? And I said, oh, YouTube. She's like, you what? Well, yeah, YouTube. I watched a series on YouTube, and she blew her mind.
Yeah.
No, I'm 33, so obviously it hasn't passed me by yet. And then I think in 10 years' time, there'll be, this whole generation of like people in their 30s and 40s consuming stuff on YouTube like it's BBC One.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the change. It's the transition, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I don't think TikTok's going to be full of 50-year-olds maybe in the future. I'm not sure that's one to transcend the time.
Yeah, we've got a funny thing as a marketing agency about TikTok, because we, if I'm entirely honest, it's obviously huge right now, and lockdown has helped it as well. And some big brands have jumped on TikTok. But as an agency, we still can't quite see.
Hey everybody, it's Ferguson Jen here. We actually recently noticed that not all of you who are listening to this podcast are actually subscribed.
So why don't you click on the subscribe button so you don't miss out?
Enjoy the rest of the podcast.
How to utilise it for SMEs, smaller businesses?
No, I had this situation. So as well as this, I also still present for a country music Instagram and web page and stuff like this. A pretty decent one, very good one to be honest. And we were discussing TikTok. They were like, should we use TikTok? And I said, well, the average person who likes country music is not 14. So even though we do want to expand and we do want more people to see it, TikTok at the moment is predominantly younger people, very young people, because of its start with no age limit. And I couldn't see how we could use that to make our business better. And I still find with TikTok, because TikTok, what was it? Vine, basically.
Yeah, Vine, yeah.
It's the same thing. You get 15-second videos, which you can now go up to a minute video, which means it's the same as YouTube. So, not same as YouTube, same as Instagram, sorry. So the major thing of TikTok is these little viral videos of 15 seconds so that people, quick consumerist things. But that was Vine, and Vine just disappeared, didn't it? So I can't see TikTok being something that you can really overly use to make your business grow.
I'm finding that difficult. That we have a phrase in the office, something Andy always says, is, will it make the boat go faster? And at the moment, unless it's a brand awareness campaign on a massive scale, TikTok is not going to make your boat go faster.
No, it's got to be, like you say, on a massive scale, because you've got to have the money to make it viral.
Yes, exactly that. And the one thing I've noticed with any successful TikTok video, the ones that have gone big, during lockdown and stuff, is people have exported them and put them on Facebook and Twitter, which suggests to me that it's not as big as they make out.
No, but then we might be behind. I might be behind on my TikTok being TikTok. Sorry.
I've got obviously we employ younger people. There's people in my team that bloody love TikTok, right on the cusp of it. They'll understand, if we were to pick up a burger restaurant tomorrow or a dessert restaurant or something like that, absolutely TikTok would be awesome for that, and our team would know exactly what to do. But if I'm talking to an accountant about their marketing campaign for 2020 and we're trying to come up with funny TikTok videos, something's probably gone wrong.
Or really right. Maybe that's the outside of the box.
As I said it, I just thought our only accountant client could actually probably do some really good TikToks because they've got like a young team. But
yeah. Oh, maybe it is a thing, but yeah, my knowledge of TikTok isn't really.
Yeah, we're old. We're over the edge.
Yeah, I started it. I got more views on that than I did on my Instagram for my singing, and I was like, it's a bit weird.
Here we
Sorry.
go. Singer, presenter, country presenter.
All round unemployed is.
I like it. So.
But yeah, no, it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one, I would have thought, for a digital marketing company, because you have to always be very aware of the trends.
Yeah, we Snapchat. We had the same with Snapchat, that everybody was saying, Snapchat's the next big channel. Get on Snapchat, and now it's like a quarter of the size it was.
I mean, we all know what it's for, and I'm not sure you're going to be marketing that.
Depends who we're working with. It really depends who you're working with, but yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? That the reality of Snapchat is for teenagers to send interesting things to each other, and
I'm not in that game, so
it's quite difficult as a serious business to get behind that. That's
very tough. Very tough.
But, yeah.
I don't know anyone who still uses Snapchat properly, apart from some people who live in the sticks. I don't know anybody who uses it. So,
well, Instagram trying to stole all its best features, right? So,
yeah. So why would you?
Stories came to Instagram. That was a Snapchat thing. You can, if you view a picture in your private messages on Instagram now, you can't view it a second time. So,
yeah. These are things I need to learn. You're telling me.
Yeah, this happened before, hasn't it? Obviously, Facebook bought Instagram because they saw an opportunity to nip something in the bud before it kind of became a competitor.
Yeah.
I wonder, TikTok's obviously backed by Chinese financing, so that's not going to happen. So it'd be interesting to see what goes on there. It'd just be interesting to see how real it all is. That when the dust settles and you look at kind of people's communication channels and what they're using, I think that would be an interesting point.
And there's always areas that are purely based for generations as well, and age limits as well.
Yeah.
So like Facebook now, I would say, is predominantly used for, it's like Friends Reunited for people of my age. Basically, it's just Friends Reunited, because you don't overly put crazy new stuff on there, and it's predominantly taken over by older people now because we grew up with it, we stick with it. So if you're a young kid coming through, you're probably not going to want to dance where your parents are.
It was my cousin's 15th birthday today, and the only way to communicate with her to say happy birthday is on Instagram.
Really?
You can't get her on Facebook because she just doesn't use it. She's got one, but she doesn't use it.
Yeah.
But obviously, in terms of marketing, Facebook own Instagram, they own WhatsApp. They have agreements with loads of websites online. So if you're doing kind of advertising through that platform, you can get at these people.
Oh, I would have thought advertising through Facebook is one of the best ways to do it.
Yeah.
It's like, also, advertising through Instagram, it's like every third picture's an advert, I swear, on my Instagram. But you don't know because it doesn't scream advert at you. It just says sponsored at the top, and you get straight through.
Codebreak advert, yeah. So,
yeah, just Codebreak every 2 seconds. I'm like, who the hell is this Codebreak situation?
Yeah, that's what we're about. So, we just touched on something then, actually, that I think could be interesting. So, if you were to define the perfect audience for your YouTube channel, who is that person? What do they look like? What are their interests in life? What age are they?
So this is an interesting thing. From when I worked with Virgin, and worked on their games sector. I worked in loads of different things for them, and realised that what I thought was such a stereotypically laddie situation. I thought, so I worked to help with a bit of their sports and stuff. Thought, it's just men of this, that, and the other. And I actually found out, whoa, it's not. This is really it encompassed everyone. And I think now with this YouTube channel, I'm doing the same thing. I'm going, in my head, I'm like, oh, it's just people like me, or it's people who are really, really, really into football.
Yeah.
are gonna find this interesting because I'm taking over Crew. I'm not taking over Man United, so most of you won't know the players, and the whole principle is like, it's got to be just people like me who are super, super into football, and I've created this product, and actually, I'm getting a lot of people come to me saying, I'm watching it, and Dale, that's actually really entertaining. It's really fun. I don't know anything about Crew. Don't know anything about football. Some people, but like, it's just what you're doing is making me want to watch, and it's a story, and we all love stories from being a kid. So just because my story is based on a game which is based on football, you're actually just going through a journey, a progression of a story with that as a background. So it's actually open to anybody for interpretation of why they would watch it. So it opens up who would watch it.
So you're
basically anyone.
Anybody that wants to witness a midlife crisis should tune in. That's
So if you're out there,
no.
probably the same people listening to this podcast, to be fair. So if you are watching,
brilliant, yeah, nice one, Dale.
It's a joke, everyone, just in case. But yeah, no, it's one of those things that I think is open to interpretation. Like I count myself, I'm an alright human being in the grand scheme, and I'm quite what I would count as normal. I go to bed and watch people eat loads of food. Like Man vs. Food.
Oh yeah, it's on at such a bad time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a terrible time.
But at 10 at night, when I'm at my hungriest and my sleepiest.
Yeah, there it is. And I love it. So I go on YouTube when I get into bed as well. And there's a guy called, his YouTube name is Beard Meets Food.
Yeah.
And I'll go into bed and I'll watch him do eating challenges. And I watch it and go, I am not your target audience. When you started this, I am not the person you thought would watch this. But I watch it. I'm subscribed. I get that little bell notification. He's got something going on. And I'm watching it. And it made me think, that could be the same for me. It doesn't, just because I think my target audience is one thing.
Okay.
There's a lot bigger audience out there for me.
Yeah, so I talked about this on a podcast previously. It's nice that you've been listening. Basically, you should be very, very defined about who your target audience is, because it makes advertising and promoting your podcast or your video or your YouTube channel a lot easier, because you know who you're talking to and you know what voice to use. But that doesn't mean that there won't be loads of people on the periphery of that will want to watch or listen. And by being selective with your advertising and your marketing of something, what you're actually doing is defining it, but you could still end up with loads of people outside of that.
Yeah, I suppose that's 100% you saying something there, which is your expertise that I wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm basically trying to lead you down the garden path now to actually tell me, in your mind, who's your target audience.
My target audience, in theory, is like football fans, season ticket holder kind of fans who love football, who are addicted to football. Like I would say, I'm addicted to football. I love it, everything about it. So that's kind of who I target it at. But then I also target it at people who I try and make them fun. So if you do find yourself stumbling across it, I try to make them fun, jovial, and a laugh, because I think often when you are so into something, like I'm so into football, you can miss the fun elements.
Yeah.
So, and I think people don't understand that they can still be there. And so you think of like a statistician or somebody who loves something and they're so anal about every part of it. And I wanted to create one which is, look, I am pretty bad into football. If you ask me statistics, I'll give you most of them, but that doesn't define me. And I want you guys, there must be more people like me out there who love the individual statistics and learning about players and this, that, and the other, but also love people who just want to have fun and chat and do it in a jovial, fun manner.
Yeah, definitely. So the reason I was kind of leading you this way is, if you were to say do a Facebook campaign behind your new YouTube channel. So if you were to say, right, I'm going to do an ad campaign for this.
Yeah.
You could run a campaign that targets people interested in football.
Yep.
Also interested in Football Manager.
Yep.
And then you could choose, what age they are, where they live, what their living situation is, because if they're married with children, chances are they haven't got that much time to play Football Manager. So
100%.
there's things you can think about with it. In your case, you play as crew on the game, so you could run a campaign that only targets crew fans. There's all these things you can do that definitively target your advertising for whatever it is you're trying to promote. And I think many people don't realise that advertising can be that detailed.
But I, for one, didn't. I didn't know how specific you could market something.
Yeah, so I could genuinely promote your YouTube channel to 30-year-olds who support crew, play Football Manager, like football, and have a cat. If I wanted.
A cat? That was a weird choice.
Well, I just wanted to throw something in that kind of just showed how specific you can be. And then the platforms we use would literally throw back at us how many people fit that profile.
See, that's amazing, isn't it? I'm sure that I'm probably not the only person who's listened to this and had no clue that you could be so specific with your marketing. I would have just thought it was just you're on Facebook, you pay £10 or whatever, and hey, it's just going to be given to you. It'll target yourself. I don't know.
Yeah, so exactly that. I think that's something. Even people who've run campaigns before probably don't realise that's the level of depth you can go to. And then something else that you could be doing is anybody that's watched over 30 seconds of a previous episode could be shown an advert for the next episode.
I didn't know that was possible either. Look at this. Learning I'm glad I'm here.
So these are the kind of things you can do. So we run a video campaign that you only get served the second video in our campaign if you've watched enough of the first video.
Right.
So we know that there's 5 videos in this campaign. If someone gets to video 5, they're quite heavily bought into what we're talking about.
Yeah, they're involved.
And so then we can serve them adverts based on the fact that we know they've got buy-in. And that's a really powerful tool in marketing, obviously.
Yeah. Well, it's perfect, isn't it, really? The grand scheme of a way to understand that somebody is invested in what you're doing. It makes it more of a surefire target when you market, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. What's the plan for the channel? How can people watch?
How can they watch? Or what can they watch? Guys, you can watch by just finding me, I'm FM Dale. It's all one word as well. Do not put the space in. You'll find some. I think he's like from China or something. He's not the same person. I'm not Chinese. He might have a great channel though, so do have a look at that as well. But yeah, FM Dale, all one word. And please just subscribe, even if you have no care about it. Watch the first one or watch the last one. One's going up at 7 o'clock on a Monday, Wednesday, and a Friday, 3 days a week. Have a look at them, see if you like them, subscribe, like, comment, do all those kind of things. But if you watch them and you're actually someone who works in editing or somebody who works in, YouTube, it even better than I do, please just put in the comments or whatever, just a little bit of help, a little bit of, anything, because it's all really appreciated. We're all here with one community, one sort of helping drive, so it all helps everyone. So yeah, FM Dell is the YouTube thing. Go and have a look. And even if you think, God, this guy sounds, why would I ever want to go and listen to that or watch that? Just give it a go. Just give it a go.
Or Me and My Crew.
Me and My Crew, that is what it's called indeed. Me and My Crew, FM Dell.
I've been paying attention.
You have. You've been paying more attention than I thought.
And I think for our listeners, regular listeners know, here's an announcement. You haven't heard this. Nobody's heard this apart from people in our team. We have 1,000 regular listeners now.
Do you?
I know.
That is amazing.
I'm so pleased with that. So, strangely enough, I'm big into data. I'm a big geek with data, but I don't have the key to the city when it comes to the stats for the podcast. I'm not the person that puts the recording together after it's been recorded. And I just thought it's about time I had a look at that, because we've done a serious amount of episodes now. And yeah, now we're averaging just over 1,000 listeners an episode.
Oh, mate, you have got to be proud of that.
I'm very pleased. So for our listeners, all bloody 1,000 of you, thank you very much for listening. I would really recommend you watch Dale's YouTube, not only because it's funny and it's entertaining, but you'll see a presenting technique that you'll be able to kind of replicate. It's quite natural. I think it's fair to say it's a slightly exaggerated version of your day-to-day self.
Yeah.
But you're still you. You're still human. You've just turned it up to 11.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to.
Nice one. Thanks for coming on, Dale.
Cheers, mate. Thank you ever so much.
All right. Cheers, everyone. Speak to you again soon.